Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined alongside Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia, and producer Zach is with us today. No camera on Zach today, though.
Yeah, sure.
But he is here. He is here. Producer Zach, it's good to have you back.
Appreciate the love. He's the voice of God in the background today.
Ziggy,
allegedly, I've heard producer Zach is back for good.
Yeah, well, that's what people say. You never know. Producer Zach comes and goes. He's like the wind.
He's the Antonio Brown of this show.
Yes.
When he's here and he's performing, he's the best player in the field.
But this might be Bucks Antonio. I'm not sure if this is Steelers Antonio Brown right now.
Maybe it is Bucks.
So is this a Super Bowl year?
Yeah, it could be. He was good in the Super Bowl. Maybe a little bit left in the tank for producer Zach. We'll have to find out as the season goes on. Ziggy, you played a little harmonica right before we started. You want to show us anything you got, or?
I don't think that's going to come through very well. So we're going to
try.
Probably good.
Absolutely not.
Probably a good call. So today's show is going to be a lot of fun. We have Ziggy had a great idea to put out a mailbag, but instead of people asking us questions, everyone shared their predictions for the 2024
we asked you a
NFL
question.
season. Yeah, we asked you a question for the first time. Isn't that kind of nice to turn the tables a little bit? And what we're going to do today is we're just going to read off people's predictions and react to them and then see what we think. Some people have some crazy ideas. Some people have some ideas we could get behind. It's fun seeing all of the community come in and leave a ton of comments. I mean, almost 50 comments were written out for us. So we'll try to get to as many as we can. Of course, before we start, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel.
And comment.
And comment too. And comment.
Come on, Paul.
We're probably going to hopefully hit 12,000 before the season starts, or right around when the season starts. We'll be at about 12,000 subscribers, which is a pretty good number for us. Make sure that you check out our merchandise, which I'm going to hopefully have back up for this video. We have some cool shirts, and we'll have more coming out throughout the season. You can always listen to us on audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts if you can't listen to us here. And then becoming a member. So you could go to our channel homepage, click join to become a member. That is also in the description. And what are some benefits of becoming a member? Well, you have all of your mailbag questions read out, like today. If you're a member, you definitely have it read out. But the biggest thing for a member right now is you could join our contest during the season, our challenge of Pick'em weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a season-long Pick'em challenge. I believe it's just straight up games, not against the spread. And whoever winds up winning that will win a PFS merch bundle. But what we're going to do also is every 4 weeks, so once a month, we'll have an individual week competition. So if you're way out of it by week 12, you could still win a t-shirt or something like that if you win that week individually. So some fun things coming up for members. Make sure that you join. It's $4.99 a month.
And what is it?
And also just you get to support us, and we really appreciate that. It keeps us coming. We're going to have so much cool content for you this weekend, and your support is what makes that possible. Not just this weekend, not just next week when we've got a live show you're going to want to hear about the whole season.
And again, there's a certain amount of, is it subscribers or members where I go into a darkness retreat?
Oh yeah, 100,000. 100,000
subscribers.
Jack does a two-day darkness retreat.
Look, every sub counts.
That would be unbelievable.
Every sub is one step closer to me in a darkness retreat.
I can't even imagine what that would be like if you were actually on a darkness retreat. We'd have to find a way to get cameras in there and everything.
I feel like when you're sleeping, that's like 8 hours of a darkness retreat right there anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, at 48 hours.
Jack, you have no idea what you're getting.
I think you'd lose your mind. We might not.
I'm sure I would.
Again, we said we might not want cameras on a Jack darkness retreat.
Imagine when I come out of darkness retreat, I might look totally different.
A quick shout out as well, actually. My sister told me something cool. Happy birthday to Lauren. It's her birthday today. So 3 cheers for Lauren.
My future girlfriend, by the way. Future girlfriend. Paul's sister.
She told me today that this is kind of cool, that out in California, one of her friends goes to school out there as an actress. And she said that she was talking to one of her friends, and her friend was like, "Oh, how do you follow Paul Farrington on Instagram?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's my sister, or one of my best friend's older brothers." It's like, "I listen to that show all the time. Like, I love that show." So a quick shout out to Ben Formella out in Los Angeles. He went to Cal Arts with our good friend Oro.
Shout out across the country.
Yeah, so thank you, Ben, for listening. Allegedly a big Packer fan. So,
appreciate it.
And there are pros and cons to everyone, but thank you, Ben. We really appreciate you listening to the show. Way out in California,
3,000 miles away. 3,000 miles away.
So a nice shout out there. And without further ado, we could get in to the reverse mailbag today. The first comment here from James Library. And James is a member. Thank you, James, as always, for leaving these questions. He says, "I'll stay away from Packers predictions since I'm emotionally invested with them, but I've got two. One, oh, Ziggy, here you go, your Cardinals. Kyler Murray will be a top 3 to 5 NFC quarterback statistically by the end of the season. I know it doesn't seem like much, but both of the conferences are stacked with QB talent when you look at them. And second, the Cleveland Browns, you'll like this, Jack, will finish last in the AFC North and trade Watson for peanuts in the next offseason, choosing to keep Kevin Stefanski over Watson. Keep up the amazing work, guys. Ziggy, what do you think of the Cardinals prediction?
Well, I mean, you're talking to me. I absolutely top 3, I think, is pushing it a little bit. But a top 5 quarterback season in the NFC, maybe even a little bit better, I think is definitely achievable.
Well, who do you have there? You have Dak, Stafford, I think Hurts probably.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, Stafford is getting older, right? I mean, you can talk about Jordan Love or whatever. I've heard that's a guy who's decent at quarterbacking in the NFC, but he's due for regression. Jared Goff is due for regression. The only real competition, I think, will be Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that 4 or 5 spot is could be up for grabs there. And Jack, you obviously love the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I mean, he's got to be a Jack Weinberger fan.
I mean, there's no way they trade Deshaun Watson because nobody wants to pick up that contract. But already you can tell they want to move off of him. They just can't because they're a bunch of bozos.
Probably the worst contract ever. No, at this moment.
It's tough to imagine a worse one, especially when you consider the crap they gave up for him.
And Russell Wilson's pretty bad, too.
I think Deshaun stinks. It's a dark cloud franchise. I have him coming in last as well.
No offense to
you. They brought this one on themselves.
No offense to Jack, but I have a hard time not putting the Steelers in last in any AFC North prediction.
What do I care?
Fair enough. All right, we'll go on to Boozer 2011. He says, here's a couple hot takes I genuinely have and believe. That's something that Ziggy pointed out, too. He said, only hot takes that you believe in. I don't want to hear any crap.
You can put in whatever you want if you don't believe it.
All right, let's go through. We'll go through these quickly here. Just give me a yay or nay, guys. Breece Hall will be at best the top 12 to 15 running back, nowhere close to top 5 or 3 like everyone else.
Nay. I'm high on Breece Hall.
Yay. Bad offensive line.
I'm going to say nay as well. The Cowboys will go 9-8 at best and could miss the playoffs. Big nay. I hate the Cowboys.
Nay. Over the win total, 9.5 easily.
Jamar Chase will be the best receiver in football. Maybe Tyreek will be debatable, but I think Chase helps take the Bengals much further than the Dolphins end up.
Nay.
I'm also nay, but I can't.
Yeah, Tyreek. Top 5. No one cares. He'll be better than Tyreek, sure.
Oh, well, would you?
But he won't be the best.
Okay. Do you have a best receiver?
Justin Jefferson.
Hell yeah, brother. Seattle will be a dumpster fire and finish last in the division. I think I'm yay.
Well,
I don't know about dumpster.
I'd probably go yay, but dumpster fire is a strong word.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to be
top 5
terrible.
pick.
Yeah, top 5 pick, really?
Dumpster fire.
All right, there you go.
I think Seattle will be what they always are.
Seattle's got good salmon out there. You ever been to Seattle eat the salmon out there?
No, I haven't. I'd like to go out there, but I've never been.
I can't eat salmon here.
It's rainy, right? Cloudy and rainy a lot in Seattle.
Oh, apparently, I was there for 3 days.
What happened to yes or no?
What?
You said yes or no's only. Now we're talking about salmon.
And then Jordan Love and Caleb Williams will have 2 to 3 good seasons by Bears standards, then turn into an average at best QB for the remainder of his career.
Nay, total bust.
Yeah, we're all nay for different reasons. And then
I don't think he'll be good and then average. I think if he's good, he'll be great, and if he's not, he'll be bad.
Yeah, I say nay. I think he'll be good. Then Jordan Love MVP, possible, but hopefully to God, nay.
It's Justin Jefferson's year, baby.
I'd love to see J Love get it, but I'm gonna go nay.
Huge fan of the channel, boys. Been watching the entire offseason. Keep it up, and he says go Pack Go. I'm not gonna say go Pack Go unless it's a member the rest of this time. From XX Zeppelin,
I will say thank you Merle for coming in and making clear that the best wide receiver starts with J and ends with Efferson.
Yeah, that was big. This is fun. I like seeing people's predictions because it's it's fun to see people's opinions that are different than
I want to see some crazy
than the two of you guys.
Give me some crazy ones.
XX Zeppelin XX. We'll just read this out. The Packers have a top 5 to 10 defense. Jacobs is back to a top 5 running back, and Love picks up right where he left off. Sky's the limit. Love the show. Well, thank you, Zeppelin.
I appreciate it, man.
Don't maybe not love that take for as Vikings fans, but we do appreciate it.
As a Josh Jacobs fantasy owner, I'll take.
I like this one. I like this one here. Pro Cheesy 2355 says Bryce Young will dramatically improve this year, and I am completely behind it. All the Bryce Young haters, like Jack, they think that this guy just because of one down season where they had nothing in Carolina and they're writing him off. CJ Stroud being great didn't help at all. But Bryce Young has a chance this year with Deontay Johnson, who we all agree is an underrated receiver.
He's
right?
mid. He's mid.
He's an underrated.
No, he's good. He's good. Yeah, I like him. I was
What does he do though? He gets open and he catches the football. Not touchdowns, but he does everything else. Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Brooks. Like this is now a much more dynamic receiving group for Bryce Young to work with, and there's some weapons. Hopefully Jonathan Brooks heals up. I like where Carolina's going. Not that they're going to be competitive this year, but Bryce Young has a much better chance to succeed now than he did a season ago.
Yeah, I mean the chance is better. I don't think he'll do it though.
Fair
I just don't think he's very good.
Fair enough.
It's rare that guys put together a season's as bad as what Bryce Young did and turn out to be any good. I see no reason to think this is different.
Yeah,
Haters.
I totally agree.
Lot of haters on this podcast. Tony Ball, 9585. Thank you, Tony. You remember, he always leaves comments. He says, Defensive Player of the Year, Xavier McKinney. With the big dogs wreaking havoc up front, Xavier will have at least 8 interceptions and at least 2 pick sixes, 3 sacks, 12 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. That's a hell of a season. Comeback Player of the Year, Josh Jacobs. MVP, Jordan Love. Cowboys will look like normal. Super Bowl MVP, Jordan Love. In a rematch of Super Bowl I, Love will outperform Mahomes and bring the Lombardi Trophy back to its rightful home. A lot of Packers love it.
Look, I mean, I love that Super Bowl prediction. That would be quite incredible. And don't tell me you wouldn't like to see that too.
No, of course I would not like to see
a small party would be like, oh, this is like pretty sick.
Love versus Mahomes.
Because now we can do a live reaction on the Super Bowl and just get an astronomical amount of viewers.
The viewers would be fun, but I can't. I need Mahomes to win that game.
I think the most likely prediction here is Xavier McKinney Defensive Player of the Year, and I still don't think that's very likely. When was the last time? Troy Polamalu is the last safety to win Defensive Player of the Year, right? Because they're like those J.J. Watt years, the Aaron Donald years. I don't think a safety's won it since Troy Polamalu.
It's been a while since.
Yeah,
I don't think Xavier McKinney's going to buck the trend.
No, me neither. I actually think the most realistic one might be Jordan Love winning MVP, or it's like the Love winning MVP or the Packers to win the Super Bowl. Like that's more possible.
I don't think I hate Josh Jacobs comeback Player of the Year. Who else?
Absolutely not. He's not winning. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Aaron Rodgers hasn't won.
Right.
All right. Merle says, thank you. Merle always comments. Merle always comments as well. He says, Deshaun Watson. Here we go, Jack. Deshaun Watson wins comeback Player of the Year. He started playing pretty well before he got injured, and I think his weapons can elevate him to his 2019 form. Bonus prediction: Justin Fields wins more games this year than Caleb Williams. So one you like, one you hate.
Yeah, man, I hate the Browns one. And honestly, like all bias aside, like I know I'm a Steeler fan, as you guys know that as well, but I don't think Deshaun Watson is very good. And Fields, yeah, hell yeah.
Fields won't even start. Fields,
and he'll still win more games than Caleb Williams.
What do you think of those two from Merle, Ziggy?
I think Russell Wilson has just been penciled in as the starter. I think that's going to stay. Deshaun Watson at this point, I'm burned from last year. I went all in. You remember in the preseason that he was going to be great.
I remember.
I know he got injured, but he looked so bad. Something has happened to this guy. I don't know exactly what.
Here's what Merle's saying is, and I'm not sure I agree that he started playing well before he got injured. What really happened
that's the thing. I just disagree with
that. What really happened is, and the narrative that people took was he had a good half against the Ravens. He had a good half against Baltimore. And that was a big turning point in the Browns season, and the way people viewed them when they won on the road against the Ravens, who, remember people going last year to Baltimore and just getting whooped, except for like the Rams and the Browns.
Browns played a 7-point game, right?
Yeah.
Was that overtime?
The Browns won. Oh, the Rams lost in overtime.
Right, that's right. Right,
and the Browns won.
Right, Browns won. Right.
So I get that Watson. It just feels like we're a broken record here with Deshaun Watson, asking for him to show up if he comes back. And then the Browns. It's true. I mean, if he plays anything like top 10 Deshaun Watson, they're going to be very difficult to beat. But I don't know. Well, Merle, yes, Ziggy, yes for a hot take. So Merle gave it to you there.
No, I mean, and there's a reason to think it, right? Before it was an RPO quarterback in a play action offense. Now it's an RPO quarterback in an RPO offense. Maybe it'll go better. I don't see it.
I mean, it's a respectable hot take.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, like it's a respectable hot take.
I just think we're all
personally don't believe it.
Yeah, I think we've all gone down this rabbit hole a lot with Deshaun Watson. But hey, you know what? Good for Merle for having faith still. From Cardson1. I hope that was the right pronunciation. Hurt goes down week 4 in Atlanta. Michael Penix comes in and shines. leading Atlanta to the playoffs, and winning Rookie of the Year.
I mean, I love these types of takes.
These hypotheticals.
To see Michael Penix come in week 4 and light it up, I love nothing more. But
Kirk is not going.
I'm a Kirk fan as well, so I hope that's not true. But I do like those types.
This is a Kirk Cousins podcast. If anything, it's a Titans podcast and it's a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we like Kirk on this podcast.
Well, Kirk's only been hurt once.
Oh, but to see Penix, but to see him come in and win Rookie of the Year,
that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But I don't see Kirk. I know people are worried about his injuries, but this guy's been pretty durable his whole career. If he does go down, though, yeah, it's not a horrible situation for Penix to come into. I mean, there's Bijan, Drake London, Pitts. This is a good offense.
Penix to pick. Pitts, PP all day.
Yeah.
PP.
Yeah.
Right, Ziggy?
From Ryan Dreischer, right? Dreischer. I think I'm on that. From Ryan Dreischer. I know that we got pronunciation on that, but I'm probably still messing it up. Who's a member? Thank you very much for your membership. Given how their team works, I would not be surprised if it was Saquon Barkley's year to get Offensive Player of the Year or even potentially MVP, though he does say highly unlikely considering it's basically a QB award, but you get the idea. Him going there made total sense and could be a dangerous recipe for the NFC East and the rest of the Eagles' opponents. What do you think?
He's gonna touch the ball so much. I do think he goes crazy in their offense. It's unfortunate. He has to have the season of a lifetime, like Adrian Peterson type of numbers, because if the Eagles go back to what they were and can go far, it's not Barkley, it's Hurts in terms of MVP. I think Barkley has a great season, though, nonetheless. I think he's pretty awesome.
There's two things I think that make it tough for Saquon. One is just you need big numbers to win Offensive Player of the Year, and a lot of those touchdowns are going to go to Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable. Yeah. The other thing is, if you look at the wide receivers at the top, right? Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, like at least 3 of those guys are going to have very good years. You add in Bijan, Christian McCaffrey, like there's just so much competition. It's definitely possible. And it's good that quarterbacks rarely win this award anymore. That will help. But with so much competition, it's hard for me to hand it to Saquon because it's just, I don't think he's going to play 17 games. And I think one of the guys ahead of him will.
Yeah, I'm not even so worried about the injuries. It's just that within Philly, I don't think he's going to be a bell cow bat. Like he'll get a lot of touches, but they will work in Kenneth Gainwell. We've seen that before. They find ways to get other people involved. And let alone, I mean, you got to remember they still have Dallas Goedert and 3 very good receivers in Philly.
It's 3 down back in Philly.
I bet Gainwell gets not that he's going to be like stealing a ton of carries, but they'll sub him in. Saquon's entering his age 27 season, so he's still Saquon's still really young. No, that's prime. That's prime of his career. Best offense he's ever been a part of. I think he'll be a huge part of the Eagles getting back on track. But in terms of the statistics and winning awards, I don't think he's going to even really be in that discussion, especially with the guys Ziggy said. Although when you look at it here, Offensive Player of the Year the past few years, McCaffrey, Jefferson, Kupp, Henry, Michael Thomas, Mahomes, Gurley. So of the past, 7 winners? 3 of them have been running backs. You just need
a running back can absolutely win the award.
Yeah, you just need a monster year, and I don't think the volume will be there for it. Although I think he'll help the resurgence.
There's also too like the small issue is there's a lot of plates to put some food on here. You got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith,
a lot of mouths to feed.
A lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, no, that's
like whereas the Vikings had literally is only Adrian Peterson. So you can give him the ball 40 times.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry winning. It was mostly, right. I mean, although McCaffrey last year was with all those guys in San Francisco.
It's very doable. Like he's great, but
he's capable of it.
He's capable. Yeah.
From Nathan S, or maybe Nathan Sparks, 465. He says, Jags 13-4, most underrated team in my opinion. Trevor figures it out with the dodgy wide receiver core. Top 5 defense. Pretty high on the Jaguars. Ziggy, we all remember you had them as the 1 seed at one point last year, and they were the 1 seed for a long stretch of last season before Lawrence got hurt. 13-4 is aggressive. I don't think I'd go that high, but I think I'd agree with you in that they are easily one of the most underrated teams heading into the season.
Yeah, I love it. Why not? Everyone's talking Houston. Jacksonville was 8-2
Oh, they're
last year.
completely flying under the radar.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Why not? I'll say 12-5.
Yeah, again, I think the win total is high. I think Trevor will figure it out. I think he's already figured it out. Top 5 defense, though, that's pushing it.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's the most crazy part of that statement.
Let's see here. I'm looking at some numbers. Yeah, the 17 games, we read this off right when Lawrence signed. The 17 games between week 12 of 2022 and week 11 of 2023, 4,161 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Trevor Lawrence, 9th in QBR, 7th in completion, 9th in passing yards. So like
I was reading Mike Sando's QB tier list this morning on like The Athletic when he brings in all these evaluators, executives, coaches. And some guy under Trevor Lawrence said, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like something happened last year. It seemed like an off year. He got injured like 5 times in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It seems like people have just forgotten that Trevor Lawrence gutted out and played through enormous injury. He's good.
High ankle sprain, concussion, shoulder sprain.
You can't run, you can't throw, and you can't see. Yeah, sure, man. Good luck.
They were 8-3, then he wound up getting hurt, and all of a sudden they go 1-5 down the stretch. I wonder what happened to him. Yeah. I don't know.
They're slept on hard for sure.
So I like the prediction of the Jaguars winning. Oh, Houston, man, they're gonna be good. All right, let's see. Hey guys, been listening for a while. This is from Ben Ziolkowski. Good pronunciation, hopefully. Hey guys, been listening for a while, and as a Packers fan, I love the content. Oh, we know our audience.
Yeah. Most Packers fans tend to.
First take this morning talked about Aaron Rodgers' career record being 81-10 when his defense allows 20 or less points, 35-2 since 2016. That's ridiculous. The Jets as a team, not just the defense, allowed 20 or more points in 8 games last year. However, you have to assume the insane amount of 3-and-outs and pick sixes due to bad Jets QB play accounted for some of those points. With how good the Jets defense has been and should continue to be, I think the Jets, barring another Rodgers injury, will win the AFC East and have a competitive playoff run. Well, thank you for that comment, Ben. That's a really cool stat on Rodgers. 81-10.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Under 20 points.
I didn't know that. That makes me want to agree with him and say, yeah, they probably will win the East if Rodgers is healthy. But I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins. I've been on the Dolphins this entire time with AFC East predictions. While the Jets will be very good, I'm going to stick with Miami.
Ziggy's down on the Jets.
It's totally unfair to judge a player on a 4-play sample size. But he didn't look very good in those 4 plays, and it's been yet another year. I'm just not convinced. As much magic as Aaron Rodgers has had, and he's probably going to go out there and prove me wrong because that's what the guy does. It's tough for me to see it.
I like it. I'm just thinking the Jets defense last year. You have to imagine if you're, Sauce Gardner or whoever, you heading out on the field after Zach Wilson and go 3-and-out again. You're like, oh my God.
There was real bad blood between the offense and the defense.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? 2 years ago? Mike effing White shirts. Like this, there's been no cohesion between the 2 units because the offense has been so bad that Rodgers doesn't even, people keep talking about Rodgers being, blank percent of his MVP form. Rodgers just has to not suck, and the Jets should be better than they were.
I think if Rodgers is decent, the Jets should be very good.
And Aaron Rodgers, is Aaron Rodgers. I look over the Jets schedule, though. It's like after the 49ers, they have Tennessee, New England, Denver, Vikings, Bills, Steelers, Patriots, Texans, Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks. Like, there should be a lot of wins there. They close tough, but the Jets should get off to a hot start, and my whole thought process around them is, of course, you have to avoid injuries, but when you start to win and you get that momentum behind you, I could see New York starting to really get going. Like the vibes are going to be high. I think that they could wind up having a special season, and it might not take long to realize that that's happening. So they just took over as the favorite to win the AFC East.
Where's Miami?
It's Jets plus 160, Bills plus 195, Dolphins plus 210, and then the Pats at plus 2600.
Dolphins is the play.
Dolphins. From D Mollinator, who you all always leave a comment, so thank you very much. Aaron Rodgers has a 4,200, 38 touchdown, 7 interception, MVP caliber season, cruising towards another MVP run. Lazard outperforms Mike Williams based solely on huge volume of passes. Devontae Adams spends week 4 through the trade deadline begging to be made a Jet. Tragically, the Jets season collapses week 14 when Aaron suffers a bruised hip and creates new memes based on his colorful slew of curses shouted as he's carted off the field.
I could see that.
That's more likely.
Yeah, this year could be the year where it's last year just ended like right away. This could be the year where, all right, this is it. We have 10 wins. It's week 14, number 1 seed potentially. Rodgers looks good, and then gets hurt there. I could see that. That's a very Jets thing.
That's pretty good stuff. From XX McLovin XX, he says, "Alrighty, let's be a little wild with our takes." This is what you're asking for. Some wild takes. Some might make Ziggy angry, but Arizona will be a bad team this year. LOL. We start to question Kyler. Sorry, Ziggy.
Ziggy.
But wait, what do you mean start to question? Kyler's been getting questioned for 3 years. Come on, McLovin.
Secondly, we got to be a little wild with this. Something that tickles Jack's wild side. You guys reach 100,000 subscribers this year. Roughly, I'd say week 15 or so. I'd expect the slow-mo, darkness retreat, etc. video to come out during All-Star Week.
Is that the only prediction we got about this show?
So far.
I think that might be the most ridiculous thing we've gotten so far.
I'm all ready.
That is a pretty ridiculous.
I'm mentally prepared to do it.
100,000 would be 88,000 more people. Oof, that's
one sub at a time.
One at a time, one by one. And because comedy comes in trios, I say Rodgers will play phenomenal all year and then be reduced to what happened year after year in Green Bay. He will slap a big old 10 points in a loss in the playoffs. By the way, yes, love MVP candidate. Gotta say it. LOL. Thank you, McLovin. Those are all very fun predictions right there. Keith Moon, 13, who is a member. Thank you, Keith. A little applause for Keith. This season with the more Jets, a lot of Jets content here. This season with the Jets ends up actually looking like the Brett Favre Jets season. Very hot start, like that 8-3 Favre team. Just miss or just barely make the playoffs and make no noise in the end. Kind of quote this year's Eagles, even though they won't even build the expectations as high until halfway through the season. Also, Green Bay and San Francisco, rematch in the playoffs, NFC title game. That's actually kind of exactly what I was saying with the Jets just now. Easy start to the season, and then we'll see if they're like 8-3 or somewhere around there. What happens at the end when you have the Bills again, you have the Dolphins again, the Jaguars? It gets a little tough. It's going to start to see what this Jets team is made of, and I'm not sure I'm going to be the one to doubt this year.
I mean, in the AFC, with how loaded it is and how loaded the playoff field will be yet again, those home games with those division champions are so important.
Is it just me, Ziggy, or does it seem like all of a sudden now the Jets hype is starting to kind of peak again? Where this whole offseason, they sort of flew under the radar, and really in the past week or so, where all the media heads need something to talk about, a lot of them seem to have gone to, okay, let's hit the Aaron Rodgers well. And it's a lot of, okay, they could be really, really good.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see how much hype is coming in. I think some of it is that we've got a bunch of Packers fans who naturally will be very high on Aaron Rodgers. But no, I mean, I think that hype is going to get deflated very quickly, but we will see.
Let's see here from Jager_CT. Jager or Jaeger? One of the two. I'll say Jaeger.
Or Yager.
Romeo Doubs shines and goes for 850 plus on the season. I can see that. 59 catches, 674 yards a year ago.
I'll back it up.
Yeah, I mean, from the reports of his camp, it's been pretty high. Steve's video experience says we will only see 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Higher or lower? 3.5, Jack.
We set in the line at 3.5 kickoffs for touchdown. I mean, throughout the whole season?
Yep.
We got to go over than that, right? Or over 3.5. I'd say there could be 4.
I'll go over as well.
I mean, it's just gonna be harder for sure.
Oh, you bet the over.
You got it. Yeah, life's short to bet the under. You can't bet the under.
3.5, Ziggy, over under.
Give me the over.
Yeah, you gotta go over.
Biz Murifa, 1921. With the best odds to win the NFC West again, I think the 49ers will have a minor collapse as a team. Ayuk may be gone. McCaffrey put in so much work last season. Is getting up in age. Debo and Kittle always getting banged up due to such a physical play style. It will all add up and be too much for them this year. The NFC West will have a new leader by the end of the season.
A lot of the time, these teams with super, super high expectations, and their expectations for good reason are very high, probably the second highest in all of football behind the Chiefs, they tend to, it's hard to exceed them. Mm-hmm. Most of the time we do see them failing to exceed them or struggling a little bit. So I'd say, yeah, there's more of a chance that they have a bit of a downfall than they meet their expectations. But I mean, I expect back to the Super Bowl.
I think this is total bullshit.
I think it just depends on what you mean by minor collapse. If by minor collapse you mean win 1 or 2 fewer games and maybe don't make the Super Bowl, I think that's pretty realistic. It's tough to make it to the Super Bowl in back-to-back years. If minor collapse means not winning the NFC West, maybe. If minor collapse means having a bad season, I don't think so.
Yeah. People are getting down are getting down on San Francisco right now, and I just can't. I can't figure out.
Well, the thing is, I think it's the inverse of the Jets, right? It's very easy to be down on teams that are mostly the same and high on teams that are new and different. But it usually goes the other way. If you're bringing back a very good team, it will probably still be really good. If you're relying on something new to make your team great, it probably won't be.
Yeah, I just there's too much talent. I know people are talking about the age, but
And they're so loaded.
no, this is a really good.
They're
team.
incredible.
This is a good team. Producer Zach, we are recording this, right?
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes I doubt. Sometimes I doubt.
You can't doubt. You can't doubt.
Sometimes I doubt. Go Pack Go Infinity. Go Pack Go Infinity. This is an amazing comment. He predicted literally the entire season, basically every team standings. I'm not going to do that, but I'll shout out your big predictions here. You really did do every single team. MVP,
which is
prediction.
incredible.
Yeah, it's a hell of a comment. MVP, Josh Allen. NFC Championship winner. Wow. Okay, hold on. Well, hold on. Before I say this, I'll say who your playoff teams are because this is good stuff. Playoff seeding: 1 Lions, 2 Rams, 3 Atlanta, 4 Philly. There's your division winners. 5 Packers, 6 49ers, 7 Tampa Bay. That's the NFC. The AFC: the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Jaguars. 1 through 4. Browns, Bengals, Texans are your wild card. The NFC Championship winner will be Atlanta.
Wow.
Go Kirk. Hell yeah, Kirk. The AFC Championship winner will be Kansas City, and the Chiefs will three-peat. Oh, come on. New England and Minnesota will fight for the number 1 pick.
Wait, but I don't understand.
Unreal.
So how can you put the Falcons into the Super Bowl and then have them losing? You might as well have them winning at that point, right?
Well, it's like March Madness. You know, a lot of times people will pick like this year, they'll have UConn going all the way, but then you pick a surprise team to get to the championship.
Yeah, that's different though.
Why?
Because chances are the surprise team won't last. Whereas the Falcons win the bowl if they're there.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's like you. It's like when in the NCAA tournament, you pick like Va Tech to go all the way. They lose, you're eliminated from every single pool you're in. So by having Atlanta, if they lose, he could like, my champion's still Kansas City. He can still claim to be right.
And
later.
Nobody else had him playing Atlanta.
He can still claim to be right later, but then the only downside is that if Atlanta loses, he's not a genius. Like he could be a genius if Atlanta makes it. Otherwise, he's just right. I kind of like this year, even though I would never do that.
No, you're right. I don't hate that.
We go all in. Like we're all or nothing, and maybe
you're right.
You know, that's
what kills us sometimes.
That kills us. Yeah, that crushes us. But I like it. Okay, couple quick ones here. O2 Splinter Cell O2 says a player who plays 0 snaps on offense will win MVP this year. Bonus prediction: 17-0 and 0-17 team will happen this season. Ziggy, one defensive player who will win.
Which of those is less likely? I'm actually not sure.
You're saying both 17-0 and 0-17?
Yeah, what's more likely that you have that or
I think it is. I mean, who's the favorite for defensive player of the year right now? So like Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons, probably Micah Parsons, right? JJ Watt or TJ Watt, excuse me.
Do you have the favorite in front of you?
I pulled it up here. It's Micah Parsons. If Micah Parsons gets 25 sacks, he doesn't win MVP.
I mean,
it'll be a quarterback. Yeah.
The Bears won't win a game, but I don't see a team going 17-0. So to have like both, that's tough. So there's a better chance.
Think it's more likely that someone just loses their mind on defense.
Yeah, me too.
And has an insane year.
Like Parsons just goes crazy. That's probably the better.
Again, imagine it's going crazy. 25 sacks. Does that win MVP? I don't think so.
I don't even know if it does.
It might. If someone's that 25 sacks.
What about like a soft?
Remember when Aaron Donald put up 20.5 sacks from defensive tackle? And it wasn't even like.
Yeah, but if Mike is rolling and Dallas is also like a 1 seed or something like that, and he's clearly just week after week being a monster. You need the media attention. Micah can generate that.
What if Sauce is a pick 6 every 3 games?
Well, that could work. I think it'd be remarkably
6 touchdowns.
Yeah,
remarkably tough.
6 touchdowns does not get you close to MVP.
Oh yeah, wait, what Bland have?
Remember Deron Bland?
Oh yeah, he had 7.
What did Stephon Diggs have when he won it?
Trayvon?
No, Stephon. Didn't Stephon Diggs win it?
Stephon Diggs is a wide receiver, Zach.
Oh, sorry, not Stephon. Stephon Gilmore.
Oh,
Sorry.
Gilmore. Okay, yeah. I was trying to remember. I was like, did Trayvon? Am I blanking?
Well, Stephon Gilmore he was just a like
defensive player.
No one can throw to me.
He won defensive player of the year, though.
Yeah, but he was not cornerback's just weird. But no defensive players winning MVP. I'm sorry.
Who was the last MVP? Was it Charles Woodson? Like who won defensive MVP? He was.
Wait. The last two, there's two ever. It's Lawrence Taylor and
Woodson, right?
And Alan Page.
But also, don't forget, Micah Parsons was taking snaps at RB this offseason. So even if Micah Parsons wins MVP, he might play a snap on offense.
I think you're thinking of Defensive Player of the Year. You're probably thinking of Gilmore winning the award.
I might have thought like Defensive Heisman, actually.
That's probably what
you're thinking. Did Woodson win the Heisman as a defensive player?
That could have been it. No, yes. Did he win it or was he a finalist? I can't remember.
I think he won it. I was thinking of the Heisman Trophy.
I can't remember. Ziggy, did you have did Charles Woodson?
Yes, Charles Woodson won the Heisman.
I was trying to remember. Well, I thought
are you guys crazy?
I got that confused.
Who was with Ryan? With Ryan Leaf, it was Ryan and Manning when Manning won. It was Manning, Leaf, Moss, and Woodson, right? I think those were the four. That's kind of an insane three with Ryan Leaf.
Woodson won it.
Sheesh. All right, Butt Pounder 420, who is a member. Thank you, Butt Pounder. My prediction is that by week 17, Brock Purdy will rightfully be considered a meh quarterback, and his performances thus far will be correctly labeled as boosting. Nay.
It seems just too good for him. I'd say nay too.
Well, do you think he's a meh quarterback?
No, I think he's slightly.
Is that nice?
I think it's mine.
No.
I think he's above a meh quarterback. I mean, I was in agreement not too long ago, but he's proven me wrong, Brock Purdy. So I'm going to say nay.
Nah. What do you think, Ziggy? Nay?
Nah.
Yeah, Brock, to be fair, I have Brock as like the 16 or 17 quarterback when we did our rankings. I do think he falls close to that, average QB, even though a lot of times he can have above average games. You think of the Baltimore game, the playoff run, he really wasn't that good. Even in the Super Bowl and the Packers game, I don't think Brock Purdy was crazy, but a lot of times he gets the job done when he has to. He's definitely more than a meh quarterback, though, at this point. I think it's crazy for people to continue to say that the 49ers' weapons are the only thing making him good. Like Brock Purdy, come on, guys. Brock Purdy has good games.
Yeah, I think he's more than a meh quarterback.
Yeah. But Pounder, I mean, maybe you wind up being right. Well, if the 49ers...
Yeah, I don't think he's great.
If they take a step back, the guys around him, and Brock can't elevate the team, then maybe you'll be right. We'll have to see. All right, we got a few more here. Oh my gosh, all right. We'll go through selective. There are a lot here. From, let's see, John Schmidt, 6271. For some of these, there's some long ones, so I'll abbreviate them a bit. Rodgers wins comeback player of the year. Jets go to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs in the divisional round. First ever Rodgers versus Mahomes, instant classic. And then the Packers edge out the Lions for the 2 seed. They play the NFC Championship game at Lambeau. And they win. MVP Joe Burrow leads the Bengals to a come-from-behind win over the Jets in the AFC Championship game. Love wins the Super Bowl, but it's McKinney who seals the deal with a late pick of Burrow. So another Packers Super Bowl champion.
Not surprised.
Nay. Let's see. Zach T, 1998. He says, let me know what you guys think of this. AFC playoff predictions. The Bengals, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Colts. They win the divisions. Ziggy had the Titans. The Ravens, Jaguars, and Steelers as the wild cards. The Eagles, the Packers, the 49ers, and the Falcons are your division champions, with the Lions, Cowboys, and Rams getting in. And the Bills beat the Packers in the Super Bowl with a game-winning field goal to end it.
Bills.
Bills Super Bowl champion.
I feel like the year that no one talks about the Bills, the year they're going to do it. So I don't hate that.
Let's see here. All right, I'm going to keep going through. Scorpions 44. Read your first one here, because it has to do with a familiar name. The Bears' Caleb Williams will underperform, but be good enough and better than previous busts of theirs to warrant a return and enough hopes for the following year. Predicting he will pad his stats well enough, but will make too many mistakes, causing them to lose games. 27 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
Oh, yeah,
that'd be a great season.
Yeah, that would be a very good season. So I'm obviously going to say he's not going to be that good. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not going to go nuts again, but I'd say worse.
Jets O-line stays healthy. Jets will be first in their division. Okay. Browns will be in contention to be one of the top 8 teams in the AFC. Give teams a run for their money. 11 to 12 wins for them. All right. A lot of people are high on the Browns here. A lot of people are high on them. Let's see. All right. This is a nice compliment here at the end from Benjamin. Benjamin Inririe. There's no way that's right. It's the font's a little small. I can't read this. Benjamin says, last year I predicted my Packers would go 9-8, clinch the number 7, and win exactly one playoff game. I deserve an award. This year I've got them going 10-7, clinching the number 6, and once again winning exactly one playoff game. I think Hafley's defense will have some growing pains, and Love still needs to prove to me he won't end critical games with interceptions. He's good, but I think he gets a bit deer in headlights in clutch situations. In the Super Bowl, I tentatively have the Lions beating the Bills. What does he say here? Josh Allen can't lose to Patty Mahomes forever, just like coins can't land on heads forever. Or can they? Ziggy, you're a book learning kind of guy, right? Can they?
Josh Allen's going to win sometime.
He goes, apologies for my filibustering comment. You guys are kings, unlike the peasants you root for. Was it woebegone? Yeah, woebegone peasants you root for. Bill, so I actually am starting to come around on the Lions as actually my Super Bowl pick in the NFC.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's where I'm starting to lean that way. We're going to have our predictions for the season coming out soon, but I'm starting to lean Lions a little bit.
I'd back it up.
Is that crazy, Ziggy, to go with the division rival in the Super Bowl? Is that wrong of me?
Yes.
Fair enough.
I mean, they're very good.
All right, let's get into some more members here. JK Zarada, who always leaves a comment, says Dak Prescott wins MVP and leads the Cowboys to their first ever championship game in 30 years. All right. They do, however, lose and miss out on a trip to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I think they haven't been there in 30 years. It's just tough to say this would be the year they go back, but I think a Dak MVP is certainly possible. They won it last year, right?
No, he's 2 last year.
Oh, it was 2 last year. I mean, he's certainly good.
It was Lamar last year.
So
we're not helping ourselves.
Right.
I mean, everybody's a choker, and every team is the team that can't get it done until they get it done. I think this is as good a season setup as the Cowboys have had in a while. I don't think that's unrealistic at all.
Yeah, I'm starting to get really annoyed with people who are talking about the Cowboys. I think we had a comment earlier, like 9 wins. This Cowboys team is very good. I know they didn't make the moves.
They've won 12 games 3 seasons in a row. That's so hard to do.
Come on. I know there are a lot of people who are down on them. Need to be careful with my choice of words here right now.
They're going to lose in Pittsburgh this year, though, I'm telling you.
Sure. I mean, they may lose. I mean, Pittsburgh's a tough place to play, but this team, they'll probably they very much should be in contention for the division with the Eagles the whole year. I'd probably pick them as my division winner right now. And then they just got to show up for the playoffs. I'm not even sure I'd say it's a playoff issue. Maybe it's just that they keep playing good teams. Like they play the 49ers and lose. 49ers are generally very good. Packers were red hot. I mean, Dallas, didn't Dak have 4 touchdowns in Tampa a few years ago? Knocked out Brady. Like, I think Dallas should be just fine.
Dak, my fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
One league. Ooh.
The Dak attack.
The Dak attack.
Zach owns Dak.
I do.
The Chess Lobster 2768 says, even as a Packers fan, Jack's takes on Caleb Williams have made me so violently frustrated that I have become a member. Well done. I'm sorry, Jack, but comparing Caleb Williams to Johnny Manziel is asinine. I think a more apt comparison, it physically hurts me to say this, is a poor man's Aaron Rodgers. The difference is that when Caleb scrambles, he's clearly looking downfield to throw until he crosses the line of scrimmage. When Manziel scrambled, his hangover headaches had him looking to tuck and run from the snap. Love the show. Jack is a Skip Bayless to Ziggy's reasonable viewer, and I love it.
I mean, that's a great comment. I'm happy to have
converted,
gained a member.
I think it's the first time we've ever gotten someone so angry at us that they decided to give us money.
Yeah, the beginning of that comment, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Then he becomes a member. Thank you, appreciate it.
Let's see here. That's awesome. I love that. From Nathan Smith, 5704, a member. Ravens missed the playoffs. This is bad for us, guys. Ravens missed the playoffs primarily due to the O-line collapsing early and never fully recovering. Okay.
That's right.
All right, hold on.
That's playing right into Ziggy's arms.
Let's be careful here.
That's playing right into Ziggy's arms.
Generally speaking, we put titles and thumbnails out that are negative about the Ravens, but the content is actually supportive of them. Like that's happened in the past. So Ravens fans just see the title, they see the thumbnail, and they say, "What the hell?"
And who can blame them? We have a terrible thumbnail design.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ravens stink.
Well, then you have Jack saying that as a Steelers fan. So personally, I feel like I get a lot of hate from Ravens fans when I think they're really good.
They're not really.
I'm a big Ravens guy.
They're not really good.
They're not going to miss the playoffs.
They might,
but I know that you two both have them missing the playoffs right now. As far as our last season prediction video went, so maybe we are anti.
Zach's got him missing the playoffs too. I know that for a fact.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know where I have to read.
Zach's actually I barely know what's going on this show.
Zach's been in a coma for a couple of months.
Ziggy, the Ravens right now, if you turn, you know what? We'll save it for the prediction video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. From Matt Niels, 8203, Christian McCaffrey will not have over 1,000 rushing yards, and the 49ers offense will take a huge dive because of it.
It's the biggest.
If you make that a conditional, yeah, if Christian McCaffrey gets hurt and can't rush, the 49ers offense will get substantially worse. Not implausible, but I think that's only going to happen if he gets hurt.
Yeah, 28 right now. Let's see the McCaffrey. You see, everyone seems worried about McCaffrey as I knock over alcohol. People seem worried about Christian McCaffrey because he's been healthy for 2.5 years now. It's almost like, all right, he's the Madden cover. He hasn't been injured for a while. Something has to happen, right? And if he's healthy, what's he gone for? 1139 and 1459 last 2 years. Whenever he's played a full season, other than his rookie year, he's gone over 1,000 yards. Unless he gets hurt, this is not the year he's going to slow down.
Yeah, I'd agree as well.
Yeah. You're a McCaffrey guy, right, Zach?
Yeah.
From fantasy?
Yeah. I do have to say, though, like the 49ers in general, I feel like anytime their running back goes down, like the next running back they have just always seems to perform well.
Well, it's because on the 49ers, no one's very good. The team's just great. So no one is individually great on that team.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I just go back.
No, what they
like,
Mostert.
they have Jeff Wilson.
I don't know.
Jeff Wilson was good for a while.
I made an argument not long ago on a couple shows back that I think even without McCaffrey, they're just as good.
Yeah,
I'm going to stand by that.
It's a horrible take.
Yeah, but with him, they're just exceptional.
With him, they're almost unbeatable.
Yeah.
From Eric Wallace 3175, a member. Thank you, Eric. All 7 teams in the AFC playoffs will have 11 or more wins. The NFC will have 10 or more. No one's sliding in with a weak division record or a 9-8 record. Actually, I like that. Every now and then you have teams that kind of coast in. I don't know. Is there anyone really? Is a weak division winner this year?
There's 8
South.
divisions. There's going to be one weak division winner.
Well, it'd have to be the NFC South if Atlanta.
The 9-8 Falcons get in, 9-8 Bucks.
Yeah, let's see. The Lions and Packers, 49ers or Rams, Eagles, Cowboys should all be good. Yeah, it would probably have to be the Falcons, but I think Atlanta will win.
They'll win more than 9 games, I think.
Yeah, I think they'll be in double digit.
I mean, would it be a shock to see in like the AFC North everyone beat up on each other and division winner
I'd be
only has
stunned
10 wins?
AFC
10
North.
wins.
I'd be stunned if one of them didn't have 10 or 11 wins.
Well, no, the bar's 11.
I would bet that.
I'm just saying there's 8 divisions. One of them's going to have a bad record.
Yeah.
AFC North one will have 11 wins.
The South is possible there.
Maybe the Texans go 10-7.
I can see the Texans or the Jaguars. That's another good division where they could beat up on each other, like sneaky good division in the NFL. And then maybe some team, like there's a lot of hype around Houston, but yeah, maybe it comes back to earth a little, or maybe people are right and the Jaguars aren't as good as we think. I think I tend to agree. AFC 11 or more wins. Let's go on that. Yay or nay? 11 or more for all AFC playoff teams. I'm going.
Nay.
I'm gonna probably go nay.
Yeah, 11's a lot. I could see 10 or more, but 11's a lot.
Yeah,
I think we got time for like 3 more questions.
All right, and we got 1, 2. We got a few more member ones here. From Slum Jit, he says Vikings go 9-8 and make the playoffs. For some reason, I feel like people sleep on them. Hell yes.
People sleep on us because we're bad.
Yeah, well, all right. See, I was getting ready to get worked up there and like really into it, but then you immediately brought
cold water right now.
Yeah, cold water immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
is 9-8 crazy?
You're really only slept on if you suck. So
Is 9-8 crazy?
You're slept on for a reason. But I don't think 9-8 is crazy. No, I don't think you're bad.
It depends on how healthy you keep Sam Darnold.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sam goes down.
I don't think Minnesota's a bad.
Over under 7.5 wins. I think he's
going under.
I don't think the Vikings over is a good bet.
You're not like as bad as like the Patriots. Like they're bad.
Well, they would be the worst team in football.
Yeah, them are the Bears.
Let's see. I'm gonna go through the Vikings schedule right now, real quick, and I'm gonna say here.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
quick.
I'll go.
Schedule.
Giants is a win. Colts at home is a win. Titans a win. We beat the Bears once. We beat the Cardinals at home. We'll beat the Falcons at home. All right. Yeah, maybe we are under. Yeah, maybe we are under. Okay.
You said you beat Atlanta. Kirk?
Yeah, we beat. Oh, Kirk at, well, what time is that game?
You're actually going to be. I think they will beat Kirk.
We'll beat Atlanta at home.
Yeah,
1 o'clock, December 8th. The Vikings are one of those teams that in December they wind up playing like an AFC South or an NFC South team, and just beat the crap out of them at home every year. Usually it's an AFC team. So that game, I'm giving away free bets right now. The AFC game that we will win, where is it here? The home game. Oh, God. It's never the Colts, is it? Oh, it's not on the schedule this year. All right. We don't have one this year. I take it back. All right. From Mercury Road 55, a member. Thank you, Mercury Road. He says the Bears still suck. Green Bay wins the Super Bowl after being up 42 in the first quarter and letting the starter sit. Jordan Love refuses and instead decides to play left-handed, throwing 5 more touchdowns the rest of the way. After the game, the Vikings petition the league to leave the division, and the Bears trade all their draft picks in exchange for being able to forfeit the games against the Packers next season. Which actually might not be a bad move.
The Bears still suck.
Ziggy's had enough. Ziggy's
the Bears still suck.
Ziggy is done with that.
That's the best comment of the day.
The Bears still suck.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Ziggy is rebelling right now or if he's actually disconnected from.
I think he's rebelling.
I think he's rebelling.
I think he left.
There's just, Jordan Love throwing 5 touchdowns with his left hand. Yeah. Here he's back. He's back.
My bad.
He's just a little upset.
Accident.
He's a little upset.
That was a mistake. Ziggy was a mistake.
The mistake was letting you finish that comment.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Jack Free. Here's another member. This is big. I don't know. This is really big. Zach.
You don't have to. We'll do the first prediction.
Yeah. He says, last name pronounced Free. Thank you. Just became a member today. Super excited for the season going forward. As a Packers fan who's only 22, this is the most excited I've been going into a season since the heartbreaking 2011 season. Fucking Chiefs and playoff Eli. This is good stuff. But I can't wait. With that being said, my bold prediction is the NFC North, for the first time in history, will have 4 playoff teams. All right. Then Zach goes on to give his little prediction for each team here. For the Vikings, let's just see what he says for the Vikings. Sam Darnold balls out, finally got weapons, good coaching, support system, always liked him. I have faith he'll ball out given the circumstances. But he hasn't been given it until now, so I think the Vikings will be fine this year. You'll have JJ back. All right, yeah. I like this.
I heard Darnold balling out.
4 playoff teams in the NFC North. That's insane.
That's
no chance.
You're
telling me no West, no
prediction.
South, no East.
It's a bold prediction. Yeah. Oh my God.
Remember I said the Vikings would go 5-0 under Sam Darnold to start the year?
So that's no Eagles or Cowboys. No Rams. That's it, right? Like who else are we really leaving out?
There's always a wild card team.
Oh no, there will I think that this is a scorching hot take.
Yeah,
Zach,
I don't
agree with it, but I mean,
it's not like impossible.
Is there the big one is the NFC East. Those 2 teams should get it. The Eagles and Cowboys.
The AFC East almost had its entire division in.
Yeah, and then it didn't because that's really hard.
That's incredibly hard to do. It's a fun prediction, but yeah, the NFC East, you got to think those 2 make it, right? All right, let's see this real quick. He says at the end, because he's a member, this is very nice from Zach. And a huge comment as well. It's very nice. He goes, Packers will be seeing the Lions in the NFC Championship game as well. I'm not sure if you all do fantasy mailbag or anything like that, but I got 2 for you. He said Jets defense versus the Niners defense, or Bears defense versus the Titans. Oh wait, Jets defense versus the Niners or the Bears defense versus the Titans?
Oh, like week 1.
It's got to be. You got to play the Bears defense, right?
Yeah.
Bears D versus Titans or Niners D versus Jets.
It's not close.
Or the Jets D versus the Niners.
Oh.
Yeah, Bears D.
The Jets defense is going to be awesome this year. And I think that after that Niners game, they have a lot of easy matchups coming up, or at least like 5 or 6. So definitely hold on to them if you have them. But yeah, the Titans, who would you rather go against? Will Levis and that crew or...
And Purdy's on the road too. Don't the Bears host Tennessee?
The Purdy game's on the road, and then the Bears, I think they are at home. I got
to double check, but it's the Bears regardless.
And then he says one more. Stroud in Indy for the first game, or Goff hosting the Rams at quarterback? It's hard not to go. Well, who are you going to say?
Probably Goff at home.
No, give me CJ Stroud.
I think I'm going Stroud.
I was going to say Stroud.
So many. The thing about the Lions is a lot of times you wind up getting Montgomery and Gibbs running it in or something like that. Dude, Goff is a good play too.
I could see the Colts showing up and playing well in that game.
In Indy, it gives me a little reserve, but I'd lean straight.
Having just missed the playoffs too last year,
Texans offense.
I'd go Goff.
Against the Texans teams that made the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be a fun game. Wow, there's a lot of good. The week 1 slate from the NFL is just.
We were talking about this before the show, Paul. It's one of the best we've ever seen.
Well, we're thinking about going. We probably will do an instant reaction after each night game, and that's Ravens, Chiefs, Packers, Eagles, Rams, Lions, and Jets, 49ers. I mean, come on. And then your 1 o'clock game of Vikings, Giants. Are you kidding? That's special.
Everything
nice
is darker
try.
when the sun goes down, am I right?
I mean, hey, Stroud versus Richardson week 1 is another. I mean, the slate is just great this year. Because he has us at the end for Zach, he says, "Go Pack, go!" at the end. All right, there you go. All right, so there you have it. How long have we been going, Zach? Producer Zach.
An hour.
An hour.
All right, there you go. See, they told me, I always try and go a little longer. I'm always trying to get more and more comments in, and luckily, producer Zach is here to say, like, all right, slow down a little bit. We can't be here for 3 hours
Before we lose some attention
span, if we haven't already. There are a lot more people who commented, and we really appreciate that.
And guess how you get your comment read, Paul. Let them know.
Yeah, to get your comment read, to be sure your comment.
Well, that feels predatory. It feels predatory. You're like, sorry, what's your comment?
Yeah, we're not predatory. We really don't. It's just a matter of time, frankly, in this situation.
Yeah, we still have jobs, but if
we still have
guys
jobs, that's the problem.
become members, you know what we don't need anymore? Jobs, and we could read all the comments you want.
See, Zach is the one who's like, Zach's like, I can't wake up at 3 a.m. anymore. Like, please, for the love of God, get some members here. But yeah, we appreciate everyone who left those comments.
We've got one more prediction. We got one more prediction. It just came in from Coobs 2110, a member.
Oh.
I can't see
it. It came in 5 minutes ago. I'm not
Go
even
for it. Read it out, Ziggy.
There's two of them. One is Christian McCaffrey falls off the fantasy football cliff, not being top 15 running backs. Injury, Trent Williams being 28 years old. Then it gets hotter. One more, the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South and thus make the playoffs this year.
I think the second one is more likely than the first one.
No chance.
Barring I'm assuming he means barring injury too.
No, he didn't say barring injury. When you say injury history, I assume the.
Oh, did he say given the injury history?
Yeah.
The Panthers will go 4-13. They're not going to win any. They're winning.
I mean, top 15 is so far to fall out. I mean, we're talking season-ending injury.
Well, yeah, he tear his Achilles.
They're both not. They're not going to happen.
I think.
You know what?
The Panthers are more likely.
I think McCaffrey.
You can convince me that this Panthers team can win a historically weak division.
I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? Like, are the Saints that good? Or are the Bucs actually kind of?
Atlanta's much better than the Panthers,
and so is Tampa.
Yes.
I mean, the Panthers' win total is 5.5. The highest win total in that division is what, 9.5?
Did it go up to 10 or no for Atlanta?
No, Atlanta's at 9.5.
Well, the Panthers.
But you can overcome that. If there's any division that a crummy team is going to win, it's that.
The Panthers will win 6 games.
The bet is basically, will McCaffrey get hurt or will the Panthers win the division? You probably have to say McCaffrey gets hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Thank you, Coobs.
I'm here for some Panthers love. I'm excited. I'd be excited.
I don't know who I hate more, the Panthers or the Bears.
Or the Bears.
You probably the Bears.
Has to be the Bears. Because you feel validated on the Panthers right now. The Bears just have something to prove.
True.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back with our season predictions on Thursday and the Jack Cap of the Week.
It's back, baby.
Returns.
I'm looking for a sign.
Was it 9-4 last year?
9-4 last year. Hit that 7 game in a row.
7 games in a row.
I'm looking to go undefeated this year.
Last year was the Oregon debacle, right?
I think that might have been 2.
I think that was last year
when Oregon State beat them.
I'm thinking of the end of the game. It was like basically over.
I had Oregon State, right?
Was that? I think that was last year.
That was 2 years.
I thought you started 0-2 this year.
Oh, right. Against Texas Tech. Yes,
Texas Tech.
That was the Oregon debacle.
That was
horrible.
That was the worst. Oh my gosh. I remember sitting here and I was like, hey, the Cap won. Like, hell yeah, brother. Let's ride.
And then 6 in the final, 10 seconds?
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Horrible.
It was despicable. But not this year.
No, not this year.
This year undefeated. That's what people are saying. That's what the Sharps are.
13
the undefeated season.
Just like this podcast, undefeated.
Undefeated.
Hell yes,
All right,
brother.
we'll be back with season predictions. And remember, last thing. Again, if you become a member, we'll be putting out a community post with the username and password. I believe it's just a password to enter the Pick'em Challenge for the 2024 season. Free to enter. Basically, you have to be a member, but it's free to enter once you're a member. Play on words here. However, we will be having a bunch of competitions. Who knows how many people join? Every 4 weeks, we'll be doing a t-shirt giveaway for whoever wins that individual week. And then at the end of the season, there will be a merch bundle that
Grand prize.
a grand prize. And I mean, yeah, it'll be one hell of a prize. Gosh, 100,000 subscribers, Darkness Retreat. That'd be crazy. I really can't imagine.
Maybe we should amend it. What if 100,000 subscribers, all 4 of us have to go on a Darkness Retreat in one room?
Oh,
Yeah, can you guys do it with me?
I think that'd be worse.
How do we all do it?
When do
together?
we even do that? What is that? Just a weekend? Well, we have to go to UVA for that.
We'll plan a weekend. We'll do it.
I know a place.
I can't imagine what that would be.
How about we're all naked too?
No.
See, I couldn't make it through a dark. This is like,
Yeah. Oh man, we'd have to film. All right.
we'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about that. That's an interesting proposal. Holy crap! All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.